Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to the day 4 of Norway Chess 2022. We are in the fourth round and this promises to be a very, very exciting one as Vishy Anand takes on Wesley So. The reason for my delay today is because at the very last moment, my mic started to not work. And I was like, what's happening? And this is the problem of a streamer. There are so many things that are there. You have the microphone and you have the headphones and you have the stream deck and you have so many tabs open. Something malfunctions at the last moment always. But thank you all for being patient. I know many of you are like, अरे जल्दी आओ पनवेल निकलना है. I was like, okay, पनवेल जाते हैं. But right now, the position on the board that we can see, let's have a look at that. Also, guys, in order to compensate for my delay, we have a very special guest coming today. Any guesses on who it would be? I think none of you can guess. Excuse OP, you're saying. अरे यार मैं क्यों excuse बोलूं? जब मैं late होता हूं, I am late. But today, really, this happened. There's going to be a special guest today who will be joining us. Somehow the camera looks a little bit weird, yeah? 1 second. Let me just... Guys, here just cleaning the camera so that, I can look handsome. Wow. No, I look good, guys. I look good. Just rewind and see. It was not as good as it is now. Okay. So, Vishy Anand is taking on Wesley So, and these are the standings right now in the tournament. What? What just happened? Had everything nicely prepared. Yeah. So here are the standings. Vishy is right now leading the tournament with 7.5 points. Wesley So is behind him on 6. So if Vishy can beat Wesley today, that would be a really good thing for him. Magnus is on 5.5, right on the toes of all the people, right on the heels of the leaders. And Magnus today takes on Anish Giri. So that's a game that we have to see. So let's have a look first at the game of Vishy. What is the position right now? A lot of you are saying flip, flip, flip. Okay, guys, let's flip it. Here we go. We have flipped it. And this is right now a very crazy position. If I look at it, I'm like, Re bhai, black ka position looks very dangerous. What is this knight doing here? What is this bishop doing here? What is this bishop? I mean, black king looks weak, white king looks excellent. What is this knight doing on the side? But for all the pains that black is facing, what does he have in return? So, there's this... okay, by the way, Vishy has just played his last move. Let me just fix this. Flip board here. And he has played his rook to d8. Okay, so this has been played. So, एक pawn की कीमत, yes, you are right. एक pawn की कीमत, तुम क्या जानो सागर बाबू. So, the thing is, sometimes when you work somewhere, you have like not so great boss, you have not so great colleagues. Also, where you have to go is a traffic zone, you have to travel a lot, but the pay is very nice. You're like, wow, that's good enough for me to take this job. And the same thing with Vishy. Vishy is like, okay, the knight is beautiful, the bishop is very nice for white, but in return, I have one pawn. So that's the reason why he has gone for this position right now, and he's put his rook on d8 and asking a question to this knight. Where do you want to go? What is it that you have on your mind? And actually, Wesley So can say, I have on my mind to take that pawn on b7. Anand will say, okay, fine, I will take. You take, and I put my rook on b8. And I attack your bishop. Now, clearly taking this pawn is a very dangerous decision, because look, what you've taken the side pawn, it is not at all very useful. And I can just push my pawn to d3, and already this looks very, very difficult position for white. So you don't take this pawn on a7, but you go back to g2, and in such a position, you will see that the d pawn is going to be the hero. The d pawn is the one that is going to really make it difficult for white in such positions like d3. And that's a very, very strong pawn. For example, if you try to attack it in this way, then I can push my pawn. And if you take here on d3, then I can take, queen takes, and already there are many ways to play, but e takes f4 looks very, very tempting, because now if bishop f4, I have takes, and then rook takes b2 hanging, queen takes c5 hanging. So guys, Vishy Anand once again seems to be in a very, very interesting position. Fast pawn. We are also going to look at the game between Anish Giri and Magnus Carlsen, because that is the game we want to follow what's happening there. But first, let me take it right from the start. c4 played by Wesley, c5 played by Anand. Okay, very symmetrical, all good. Knight c3. And you know, when I was taking a training session with a trainer with whom I worked for like 4 or 5 years almost, Joseph Horvath, our first training session, first ever, was this move. And he said to me that Sagar, knight c3 is sometimes not the most accurate. And g6 was the move he recommended. I don't know if this is true, because with the engines always changing, this might not be the case anymore. But g6 to knight c3 is always a very good idea. g3 by Wesley, bishop g7, bishop g2, and now knight to c6 was played. He gets his knight to f3. Now Anand can play knight to f6, but he played the move e6. And Vishy's idea is to play knight e7 and short castle. Sab apna ghar mast bana lo, like, you know, this is like a nice fence, and put your pieces behind it, castle, and then later try for d5 break. But here Wesley So went for a pawn break, a pawn sacrifice. Can you find out what was that pawn sacrifice that Wesley So went for in this position? It's a very good one. Yes, exactly. Wesley So right now played a very interesting move. And the move he played was d4. And a lot of you have managed to guess this move. The board kidhar hai? Okay, here's the board. And d4, absolutely right. The right answers have been given by Mistadam, Mahish, Shreyan, Neeraj, Suryas, Rakshit, Abhiraj, Tech, KVN, Amog, and Rishi Karmakar. Excellent. So d4, and you will say, what does this pawn sacrifice actually mean? Now, there are two ways to play this position. You can take with the pawn, or you can take with the knight. If you take with the pawn, here's the line which happens. White goes knight b5. Black plays d5. White takes. Black gives a check. Bishop d2 is one way to play, but knight d2 is more accurate because you unleash this bishop. Queen takes b5. D takes c6, and now a very important move, I believe, is knight e7, and I think black manages to equalize this position. This is one line which is well known here, but Anand decides to take with the knight first, which is also playable. You first take with the knight, knight takes, pawn takes, and now if you play knight b5, maybe there are additional options like queen b6, because there is no knight on c6 in between, so there would be no knight d6 check. The queen would also control the d6 square. So Wesley So now played the move knight e4. And Wesley is telling Vishy that look, here your problem is the dark squares in the position. They are a little too weak. Vishy says, Wesley, are you sure? I'm going to push you in the center anyway. I'm going to attack your knight. And in comes a check now. So this check is a tricky check now. If you are going to play bishop d7 over here, then the knight jumps in with a check because the queen's path is blocked. And where does this king go? It can go to f8, but then the knight is well placed. You have lost the right to castling. But what if it goes to e7? Why is this a bad move? White to move, guys. What does white do here? Sound is very low. Oof. Hello. Okay, guys. Hello. Now my sound is very high. Is my sound better now, guys? I will do one thing. I will use my mic on my bottle and I will place it here so that I can really give you a good quality sound. Okay. Sound is slow. Sound is slow का कुछ नहीं कर सकते दोस्तों. Sound is low का I can do something. Bishop g5 is a bad move. Bishop g5 is a horrible move because here, f6 is not great because with the same idea, queen a3. But the very nice move here is king f8 and black is okay because you can take the queen, but I will also take your queen. So not bishop g5. The right move here, and as mentioned by many of you, queen a3 and queen b4 both are right. Pushkar, Sendil Nathan, Chess Wizard, 64 Squares, No Name, All-Rounder Show, Alhad, Mudassir, Heth, Kushan, and Tushar, Ananta, Amai, Prince Wasir, CSK will return. Pata nahi. Deepak, Dashrath, Ishan, Vignesh, Surya, Thangavel. Just put your queen on b4 or a3 and this king is horribly positioned. Okay, so when he gave a check, you can't play BD. You can play, but Anand said, let's just move to the side of the board. Let's go to f8. It's a nice square to be on. Okay, Wesley now played a check. Anand blocked with the queen. Now the knight jumped in. Now in such positions, you can get really tensed because first of all, you have lost the right to castling. You've kind of gotten a very strong knight here in the position. Everything looks very dangerous, but Anand seems to have been well prepared. So he played bishop e5. Although he's already taken half an hour, so I'm not sure if he's in his preparation. He attacks the knight and he tells Wesley, if you move the knight, I will take your queen. So Wesley said, okay, fine, Vishy. I have two ideas. One, I can go bishop f4, exchange the bishops. Second one is I can go c5 and I can tell that this bishop is not so well placed. Okay, Vishy now moves his king to g7. Goes castles. And now knight comes to h6. Where is this knight headed to, guys? What is the square that this knight wants to be on? Yes, knight f5, Vaibhav Dubey, very good. Shreyan Datta Roy, Prince Wasir, Junaid, excellent. The knight wants to go to f5. And once the knight goes to f5, the knight on d6 becomes kind of shaky. So, he went e4 in the position here. Vishy took, knight takes e4, and now Anand here decided to make a very interesting move. See, the e4 move is a very tricky move. Like Anand could have gone here en passant. But after queen e3, this is attacked and this is attacked. So it becomes very difficult to hold both, like queen e2. And this is not a good position. So Anand did not take en passant. He in fact took the pawn, knight takes, and played f6 because already there were some ideas. Like let's say if I play knight f5 in this position, then already g4, bishop g5, these are all dangerous moves in the air. So he played f6, stopping all these ideas of bishop g5 beforehand. Now Wesley should have played the move b4 and he would have a small edge in the position. He spawned down, but he decided to play f4. Vishy pulled his bishop back, and now the knight came to d6. So we are closing in on our live position. Rook d8 was played, and now we were discussing that Wesley could take this pawn, but which was not very good. The move that he played was knight to b5, an excellent move by Wesley So. And Vishy now started to think as to what should he do. He has an extra pawn here, which is very clear. He would like to play e5 and connect those pawns together. But the problem is that, let's say after I take fe, here white has a very powerful move, and which just shows what is the problem that black faces here. White to move. Yes, exactly. This is absolutely right. Look at the people in the chat, all coming up with the pro move here. PL Kanti Ghosh, 64 squares with SNP, Diptanu Chakrabarti, Mista Dam, Satya Murthy, Tushar Kapoor, Aryan Sharma, Mudassir Faiz, Aryan Raj, Firo Boy. Bishop comes to g5, and this is such an irritating move to face. And dark squares are weak. You lost your dark square bishop, your dark squares are weak. And this position already starts to get really tricky for black. So Anand does not want to push his pawn to e5. He right now wants to keep these pawns like this so that the bishop does not get activated in the position. So Anand here played the move queen to d7, a very, very how can I say, a little bit ugly, but if it gets the work done, why not? You are attacking the knight. Ab knight kahan jayega? Let's say, where can the knight go? The knight can be defended either by queen b3, or you can take this. Once you take this, queen c7, you will realize that because I have not played e5 in the position, this bishop cannot be activated. Arvind says, Sagar, how about e6? But Arvind, the pawn is already on e6. You mean e5? That's what we were discussing. We don't want to open up the position and let the bishop come out. Yeah, Rakshit, if enough pieces are traded, d4 can become a monster. So, if Anand gets enough time in this position, he would play his bishop here and bishop here. So how does white continue to create threats in such a position? White to move, try to create a threat here with the white pieces. No, white to move. After takes, there's a way in which white can still keep his initiative going. Very good. This is absolutely correct. This bishop here can come to d2 and then to a5, and the right move has been given by Abhilash, Abhinav, Sahil, Balaji, A to Z, Aryan Raj, Abhishek, Kushan, Shrijit and Saurabh. Fantastic. You see the bishop comes here and puts pressure here. Then black has to go a5 when you can play b4, pinning here, and the game starts to heat up. So this could very well happen, but I think we have some moves that have happened on the board. Oh my god, this is exactly the position that we have on the board. Wow, amazing. Knight takes c7, queen takes c7, bishop d2 and Vishy instantly plays a5. Amazing. And दोनों का time देखो दोस्तों, both have 1 hour 1 minute on the clock, and Wesley instantly pushes c6. Oh my god. Wesley So, full confidence. See, the best move in this position was b4 to try and make use. You can't take here, rook is hanging. If you play bishop d7, which is the best move, then I will take back a pawn. I have recovered a pawn. Okay, it's not the greatest of pawns, but the position is around equal. But Wesley So is like, Vishy, एक pawn की कीमत नहीं, 2 pawn की कीमत तुम क्या जानो. And now he's given another pawn. But what is his idea? Okay, first things first, guys. You have to explain to me, if Anand simply takes this pawn, what is Wesley So going to do? Is he going to just, has he given up a pawn just like that? This is now, how do you, yes, rook a c1. I absolutely agree with you. You get your rook here, put pressure here with the bishop. Okay, now Vishy has to think. He can't push the pawn because then his rook will hang. So he has to play a little passively. Let's put the bishop on b7. I don't like. Bishop is like, क्या काम दिया है मेरे को? It's the most dull, boring job. I see no future. Here is the pawn, I am just defending it. But sometimes a bad bishop defends good pawn. You are pawn up. So now the question is, where is white's next compensation? Wesley will say, hey, I'm going rook c5. I want to take this pawn now. Because now I have 3 attacks here and you have only 2 defenders. Vishy can say, okay, Wesley, I understand your feelings. a4. And slowly and steadily, you will realize, okay, Wesley will say, I'll get another rook. To attack kar raha hai. Full on attack. And in this position, what could happen is that after all these big fight that Wesley is putting in for the c6 pawn that he has sacrificed, he might get it back. But fir bhi you will be 1 pawn down. And here, let's just say an example like d3, and you take this pawn, rook takes, and now in order to gain a very nice tempo, I will give you a check. King, let's put the king somewhere. Where do we put? King g2. And now show me a good move in, let's put the king on f1. Let's put it here. Show me a good move for black here. I want to see good defensive moves in the chat. I know all of you are attacking Mikhail Tal's there, but show me some Petrosian-like skills of defending. What is a good move here? Just very calm move. Some of you in the chat are so eager in life. So eager. It's like, you know, you're like, bhai, I just need to checkmate my king. His opponent's king. And you're like, look, the queen is looking here. And I'm going to get my knight here. And let's get the knight here. And let me see who are these people who are so eager to play knight g4. Luminous Lamp, Prince Vasir, Harivash, Siddharth Bhattacharya, Samil Dolani, Adarsh Kush, Dashrath Satyamurthy Parveen. All of you, please keep in mind to end the variation with opponent's move. What will white do here now? Khatam. Game. Over. Tata. Goodbye. Rook c7 check. It's over. So that's the reason why don't go for this move. Play rook d7 here, and these are the moves. Diptanu, 64 squares, Amay, Surya, Thangavel, Chandan Nagar, Srijit, Harsh, Vignesh, Mistadam, Jai Krishna. You know, sometimes your chess moves also show a lot about the kind of person you are. For example, if you enter an airport where there are many queues, okay, and then a new counter opens up, then the people who made the move knight g4 will immediately go to that counter. The people who played rook d7 will be like, should we go there? Will that be good? I'm here. My number is going to come up. Maybe a little bit more calm. Sometimes, maybe not always, but some people, you can see the things resembling life on the chessboard as well. Oh, by the way, Anand took the pawn and Wesley So has also taken. Rook c1 has been played in the position. And now Vishy Anand. By the way, guys, all those who are enjoying the commentary, please do like the stream and also subscribe. Our aim for today is 916k. We have reached 915k Every day we're moving one step by step up slowly towards the 1 million mark. Hopefully we'll all do it close to the Olympiad. People in the chat to Sagar bhai be like, Bahar mil zara. Are, you can meet me tomorrow at ChessBase India Chess Club. If anyone is in Mumbai, come to Phoenix Market City. 5 o'clock. Anyway, many of you beat me on the board. Off the board, please don't beat me. Okay, rook c1. Attacking this pawn with the bishop and the rook. Aman Makwana says, where is the chess club? It is in Phoenix Market City in Kurla, Mumbai. 12 sessions have been completed. No, tomorrow is the 12th one. 11 have been completed. Okay. Now, I'm thinking Anand will go bishop b7. Then Wesley will try to fight a pawn, but Anand will be better. Guys, Vishy Anand has a great opportunity to beat Wesley So here. And Wesley's rating is higher than Vishy's rating. So if Vishy wins this game, he gets another 5 elo points. That will push his world rating really high. But okay, let's not count our chickens before they hatch. Let's just focus on the game and let's quickly check what our dear friend Anish Giri is doing against Magnus Carlsen. Not so well, I see. Not so well. The position looks very dangerous. How did Anish Giri land up in such a difficult situation? If you see, materially, Anish is doing very well. Anish is saying, Magnus, ek knight, ek knight. Ek bishop, ek bishop. All good. I have 2 rooks for your queen. Isn't that great? But Magnus says, I have pushed my pawn to g5. And the problem for you is that I'm taking here and opening up your king. Anish is like, okay, fine. I'm going to play at g5 here. It is a very simple move. If I'll take, and if you now take, I know you want to go g6 and take advantage of this pin, but I will myself go g6. And here, guys, is a question to all of you. It's a beautiful move. White to play and win. What is the move that Magnus will play? Is my sound very loud today? Guys, please tell me. In the chat, everyone is like, थोड़ा जोर से बोल रहे हो. When I am on stream many times, I always, and people tell me, your sound is low, your sound is loud. I always remember that story of the donkey and the owner and his son. I don't know if you know that. Little loud. Okay, let's make it a little slow, little low. Okay, the move that I was expecting all of you to play was queen to d6. With this move, you hit the rook and also the g6 pawn, and it's very difficult to defend both. You can play king g7, but the rook is defended. But now comes the move knight d4. A very nice move, blocking the bishop. If you take with the knight, then your rook is hanging here. So let's say you take with the bishop after ed4. Now the problem is queen f6 check, and this attack d5 coming in is very, very dangerous. So all those who said queen d6, good job. That was not a bad idea. Abhinav, Sahil, Diptanu, Sumed, Edufan, Janvi, Aditya, Harshit, Vajala, and Parth. Those who said king knight h4 here. Yes, your idea is to take here, and it's not a bad idea. But you have to first of all think about king g7 and also rook e5, attacking this and this. This might be a dangerous thing for you because you will lose your g5 pawn. So let's not go there. Actually, let's quickly check as to how did Anish Giri land up in this difficult situation against Magnus. He played the Tarash and this new sort of this drawish line in the Tarash. But bishop e7, Magnus didn't go for that endgame variation, which is super. Like here, CD4, Queen D4, ED, E4. This is the dull, boring endgame line. Magnus went Bishop G5. This is what Pragnananda also played with Magnus Carlsen. Queen D3, H6, Bishop H4, Bishop E6, castles, all standard. Bishop F6, Bishop F6, Knight D5. I think this is Anish's prep where you give up a pawn, then you take another pawn. Might also be Magnus's prep, and Anish now actually made a very big error in his judgment. Actually, this position is quite normal. Yeah, like Anish can play Queen A3, he can come back Queen E7, and he can say, okay, I'm very slightly worse. But Anish says, मुफ्त एक pawn मुफ्त में मिल रहा है. I'm getting 2 rooks for a queen, and he got tempted. And this might be a great example of a position where a queen is stronger than 2 rooks. And can anyone explain to me why would the queen be stronger than 2 rooks in a position like this? Because you see, the rooks have open file. Rook can come here, rook can come here. It's all good. Why would a queen be stronger than the 2 rooks? First of all, very rightly pointed that the F7 square is weak. So one of the rooks is kind of permanently tied down. Second of all, the queen is a monster. And the third of all, and this is just my thought, if we put the pawn back on H7 here, maybe this position is okay for black. Maybe. But with the pawn on H6, Magnus Carlsen is like, I smell an attack. I'm going to play G4, H4, G5, and I'm going to unleash these pawns down the board. So G4 was an excellent move. Rook A8, because if you play Rook A D8, it doesn't change anything. The queen has a very nice square in this position where it can sit. Can everyone find that square? What is that square? You have to find a nice home for the queen. Where is it? Yeah, Karan Yogi, why not Rook A D8? Absolutely. अभी विशी के गेम पे जाएंगे अभी 2 मिनट में. Yes, the move that I was actually looking for is F5. F5 is the square where you continue your attack here, and the queen can never be dislodged with G6 because ye pawn, keep this theme in your head. Bishop here, this square is weak. You can take it. So queen takes G6 is coming up. Ishpreet Singh, Madhesh Kumar, Om Shri, Prashant, Nihar Shah, Piyush Mishra, Diptanu, Bhavya, Chess Knight, Om Salunke, Arav Modi, good job. So here queen sits on F5 and this happens. Let me just try something for fun. Okay, Queen D3, Bishop E6. Okay, just trying to understand chess, guys. 2 minutes, thoda time de do. Queen B6, Bishop F6, Bishop F6, Knight D5, takes. Okay, Queen B2, Bishop C4, Queen A1. Still, actually, I was just trying to reach the same position without H6, and I think it doesn't matter. The engine still gave a huge advantage to white. So this point of H6 move being relevant, kind of not. I think the most relevant factor is just this F7 pawn under pressure, and one rook having to be tied down to it, and then white pushing his pawns, and with one queen, bishop and knight launching an attack. How do you learn all of this? People are like, "Arey yaar, Sagar, you had told that 2 rooks, if everything is fine, if there are open files, they would be better than the queen. Why is chess so difficult? Why is every time?" Well, that's the thing about chess. That's what makes it truly very difficult. Every position you have to assess it. And this is why even a world-class player like Anish Giri has gone wrong in his assessment of this position. But Magnus Carlsen assessed it correctly. World champion for a reason. Yeah. Okay, let's go to Vishy's game. and see what's happening there. Oh, जो अपन ने सोचा था थोड़ा थोड़ा हुआ है. So rook c1. Now we were thinking he would go bishop b7 and protect this pawn, but Vishy said, I don't like this bishop. The bishop was bishop is like that guy whom you say, can you please go and get that job done? He'll be like, no, sorry, I can't do it. I have something important to do. What important? What? Just relax. I want to chill on c8. Okay, fine. Rook, can you go and do the job? Yes, sir, I'll do the job. I'll go to a6 and I will protect the pawn. Okay, Rook doing his job. But here, Wesley now comes in with the rook to c5 and he attacks the a5 pawn. Bishop a5 also hanging, and now Vishy pushes the pawn to a4. I mean, Anand's position actually is terrible. Yeah, I mean, just look at it. Don't look at the engine. Don't look at the bar. Just look at the pieces. King is ऐसा थोड़ा साइड में किधर तो ऐसा थोड़ा pawn भी आगे हो गया है. Knight on h6. पता नहीं what is he doing in life. Just on the side of the board. Bishop on c8. Relaxing, chilling. Rook on a6, doing the job of defending these two pawns. Rook on d8. Nice piece. Putting power behind the d4 pawn. And the queen on c7 is that glue in the position. It's kind of holding everything together. But most of all, what black has is two extra pawns in the position. These two extra pawns is what is going to help Vishy give up one pawn but unleash his pieces. This is what he's hoping for to happen. Rook fc1 played by Wesley So. And by the way, this might be the first ever game in this tournament that Vishy is slightly behind on time, but not under some pressure as time related, because he has 24 moves have been made, 16 more moves to make before the increment begins, and he has 49 minutes. So that's not a huge time problem. Now, Rook fc1 has been played. Yeah. So everyone starts to talk in the company. Let's imagine black is a company filled with people who are not very interested in their job, but just doing it, So like queen is like, okay, I'm defending here, two defenders, but now suddenly three attackers have come. We're like, bishop, please, buddy, we need you. Bishop like, please get the other rook. I'm feeling sleepy. He will come. He will do the job. He will put on d6, and he'll be like, no, bishop. The problem is that if the other rook is put up there, then his bishop will come from here and he will attack. Then the rook will move back. It will all go messy. It's like, fine, you guys just can't live without me. And finally, it has to go to b7. Now the question is, what is black going to do next? All his pieces are kind of jammed up. Suddenly the knight says, guys, did you forget me? I can also join the game if you want. I can go to f5. Maybe from there, come here to e7, defend this, free up a few people. So you see that although black is quite passive, his knight entering the game could mean a lot. And what does white do? On the other hand, white does not have too many things to do as well. He has maximized his position in many ways. All his pieces are beautifully placed. Okay, you might say that this pawn is weak. Maybe e6 pawn is weak. So maybe the bishop would like to come here and sit here. Possible that Vishy might consider putting his bishop on d7. But no. Vishy is like, no. I am going to b7. And I think Anand, and this thing about what we have spoken, we have read, we have been talking about it. Vidit spoke about it, and we have read it. Kazim Jano spoke about it. We also heard who spoke? Anish Giri spoke about it. It's like Vishy understands where the pieces belong. This is years of experience. While we all always try to kind of, argue logically, Vishy sometimes, when he's in great form, his intuition just tells him, okay, here is the best square for the piece. He kind of trusts it, you know. That intuition itself has helped him become 5-time world champion. So you should trust it. At the same time, he has studied chess so much that such things happen to people who have dedicated their life to something, you know. Okay, so bishop b7 has been played, and now Wesley So has to decide as to how is he going to continue. I think that Wesley might say, hey, e6 pawn, your bishop was protecting that pawn, now it's weak, why don't I attack it? It is quite possible that Wesley might go there. But then Vishy can go queen d6 or even queen d7, you know. And all of this, as we said, is happening without the knight. So when actually he goes bishop h3 to put pressure on e6, suddenly the knight might just rise up and we're like, okay, let's come into the game. I'm actually very positive about Vishy's position here overall. What do you think, guys? I feel that Vishy has good chances. As AG said, Vishy's hand will go to the bishop on c8, and then the hand will automatically direct it and take it to b7. Yeah. Sometimes it's just, I mean, you just feel it. And there's no explanation because the bishop here is horrible. If you talk to the bishop, he'll be like, oh, my life is bad. Don't talk to it. Don't talk to it. You know, I've been telling you, talk to your pieces, talk to your pieces. But you should talk to your pieces. Vishy does not need to talk. He just needs to trust his intuition. And I think Vishy realizes that in order to make progress here, White might have to win this pawn. And when that pawn is won, maybe this d7 square belongs to the rook, perhaps, where you need to cover the 7th rank. I mean, for Wesley, this is definitely an uncomfortable situation. You are 2 pawns down and you have to find compensation. I'm thinking, what's the other way in which you can do something? What is the way in which, let's think. How can White create play? Any suggestion? Let's ask the chat because you guys can really come up with good ideas. What should White do here that he can show कि भाई अरे 2 pawn invest किया है. I've invested in what? Crypto. And prices are going down. I have to do something. What to do? Okay. Someone is saying no way to improve the position. Guys, don't be so sad. मतलब इतना भी pessimistic मत बनो. Try to figure out a way. Let's see. What is the chat saying? Okay, everyone wants to go bishop f1. Chat, nice. Like it. You attack this. Rook c4, attacking a4. Oh, that's also interesting. Very nice. Bishop h3, very interesting. Wow, I like it. Let's take it one by one. Let's first see bishop f1, hitting the rook. Okay, rook says I'll come back. Bishop is like, let's go back. And now, this is the point, I think, where Vishy says, though pawn is a lot, let's give up 1 pawn. Let's play rook d7. And once you take, I will take, you take, and I'll just play my queen to b7. I'm pawn up. Excellent position. Knight is coming to f5 next move. Everything looks great. You know? Suddenly this rook has meaning in life. This rook is of course doing well. This knight is coming. The queen is well positioned. So, bishop f1, good try, but only helps black. Next move that you guys suggested is rook c4. You want to attack this pawn. Very noble thought. But, let's say, now with all your pieces here, can I push e5? Maybe. Can I go d3? Maybe just pushing the pawn. And if you take here, that is a blunder. Because after take, what is the move over here that gives white black a winning position? Very nice move. Let's see. What? No, no, no. It's not this game. Oh, by the way, Radjabov and MVL are going into Armageddon. We'll keep an eye on that. But meanwhile, the move that I was trying to discuss was Rook C4, D3, takes here, takes here, takes here. And what's the move? Queen B6. Absolutely right. This is the correct move as mentioned by so many of you here. Excellent job by Lokesh, Sagar Chess, Shaunak Badole, Madhesh Kumar, Chess Unblocked, Chaitali Sen Gupta, Yash Shah, Viraj Pandit, Prashant, and Belligerent. You give a check, king goes to h1, and now you push your pawn to c5, unleashing the bishop. Bishop is like, Kushi ke asu. It's become so active, so happy. Now, suddenly, no meaning in life, but now, all of a sudden, it's the best piece, and white is completely lost in this position. The b2 pawn is hanging. So, again, rook c4, good idea that you guys had to go and take here, but doesn't work. What else was suggested? b3? Not so sure. I'll just take it. The rook is defended. So, all in all, it seems like for Wesley So to make progress in this position is not an easy matter. And he's thinking for his move, what to do. I'm going to drink some water now. Red Bull energy. Nahi. Guys, this energy comes from drinking a lot of water, yeah? And also, this is the secret of drinking a lot of... I don't know, just drink more water because of it. I have no clue. Maybe we should ask Vidit, what is the secret there? Meanwhile, in the game of Magnus Carlsen, h takes g5 was played and Magnus went knight takes g5. Maybe Anish can fight back. Anish now has actually only one move in this position. मतलब एक ही move है. If he plays that move, he's in the game. Say suppose I play a6. Okay, horrible move. ठीक है, but I'm just illustrative. What does white do here to win? White to play and win. Come on. Sharat Goswami says, keep some champagne on the side. Might be time given on. We'll celebrate with the champagne maybe at the end of the tournament if Vishy wins. Yes, absolutely right. Beautiful job done by Surya Thangavel, Chintan, Madhesh, Chaitali, Ranbir, Divyansh, Yash, Saurabh, Priyanka, and Harivash. Queen f5. It's a mate here and you can't stop it. You go g6. I anyway take it. As you know already this theme, and next move, there's a mate on h7 incoming. So you can't play g6 move. So the only move which is the defensive move in this position, and I want you to tell me what does black do to save the game, and will Anish Giri find it? Oh, Wesley So went bishop f1. Let's go quickly to that game as well. But first here, what is the move? No, not rook e5. Let me see what are the moves that are being suggested. Rook e5. Everyone wants to attack. Tum log ko attack dikha ki you want to play it. But rook e5 is not a good move. Why? Because of queen d1 attacking the bishop. Okay, you will say fine. What's the big deal? I save my bishop. But hey, queen c2 attacks the bishop and mating threat. Okay, you can't go there. Then where else do I go? You can't go anywhere. The bishop is hanging. So think backward moves are very difficult to spot. Queen d1 with the idea of hitting the bishop wherever the bishop goes. Queen c2 and you lose. So I got hurt now. Just hit the table. Okay. So the only move is bishop f6, and fantastic job done by story stackers Anil Kumar, Som, Abhinav, Shreyas, Rajesh, Balaji, Inferno, Diptanu, Jai Krishna. bishop f6, and that is your only defensive move, because next move you will get rid of this knight. So if queen f5 threatening a mate, not g6 because of queen g6, but bishop g5, and now hg5 threatening g6, this is where I think the game will head. Takes, threatening g6. The only move now is knight e5, attacking the bishop. The bishop drops back, and I think Anish Giri has some chances to hold here, but he has to be very careful because g6 is coming in the air. Bishop c2 is also there. The knight is not stable. f4 can come to kick the knight off. I think it's a very tough position for Anish. Magnus Carlsen going to put a lot of pressure. But as we said here, if Magnus would have taken with the pawn or even played queen f5, this advantage which he would have had would have been huge. But now after knight g5, Anish can fight back with bishop f6. We will see if he can find it or not. Meanwhile, let's quickly go back to Vishy Anand's game, because bishop f1 has been played by Wesley So, attacking Vishy's rook. And I think Vishy, if he keeps his cool here, he should be able to find rook a8. Thakur and me are enjoying Vishy re-tigered. Love him. Arey, Praveen S, that's good to know. Wasn't your son's name Calvin? Now who's Thakur? Last time you had mentioned your son's name is Calvin. Okay, bishop b5 now. That is a possibility, right? Because once you put your bishop here, your threat is to take on c6 and take this pawn. Oh, by the way, game has moved ahead or what? Oh, they're going for a draw? No way. He's gone bishop g2 and Vishy has put his rook back. Oh my god. Is Vishy going to agree to a draw? Guys, what? No. What? Anand didn't like his position, I guess. Anand said, bishop's complaining, knight's not happy, but bishop f1, rook a8, bishop g2. The main thing here is that this pawn, if you lose, it looks very dangerous because it opens the floodgates. But rook d7, take here, maybe this is very good for Vishy. The main point being that you can't take here because knight f5, and black is just coordinating beautifully now with the knight, queen, rook. Everything's doing well. Okay, draw with black against Wesley is a great result, I must agree. But with the position that Anand had, I think he should have maybe played on there. What do you think, guys? But now Armageddon time. And I think Armageddon is tremendously difficult. Because Wesley has 10 minutes against Vishy having 7 minutes. Yes, I agree, Ajju. Ajju says Vishy does not have engine. I agree with it. Absolutely, I'm not saying. But at the same time, I mean, the question definitely can be asked is, if rook d7, what does black have? Maybe black has no other. I mean, what does white have? Perhaps with this look of the pieces, Anand just did not like his position. But guys, in maybe less than 20 minutes from now, we will have the Armageddon happening. Saving stamina for Carlsen, says MB. Yeah, day after tomorrow, by the way. Tomorrow is a rest day. Day after tomorrow is Vishy versus Magnus. Yeah, absolutely. Rakshit says, credits to Vishy. He navigated Wesley's opening prep really well. Yeah. So, with this, if we look at the standings, we see that Wesley now is on 7. and Vishy is on 8.5. So if Wesley now wins against Vishy in Armageddon, he gets half a point. So he will still stay behind. And Carlsen, if he beats Anish, he will get 3 points. He will move to 8.5. Vishy might be on 8.5. If Vishy wins, he will move to 9. But let's say Wesley, I mean, I think White is generally the favorite in these Armageddon. Very difficult with 10 versus 7 to hold. So then still Magnus and Vishy will have the same score and they will face off against each other in the 5th round, day after tomorrow. That would be nice. Who's the guest? Yeah, that's a good question. We have a guest joining us, but maybe he would be just in time for the Armageddon, and maybe it would be wonderful to look at it with him. Soham Pandya says Vishy is known for his speed. Let's see, 7 minutes is enough. Did you guys have you guys seen this game, Vishy versus Ilyas Mirin, where he thinks for what 2 minutes in a 5-minute game and then starts blitzing out all his moves and wins with like 1 minute left on the clock? Epic one. It's on YouTube. You should check it. Yeah, OP video. Everyone's seen it. Yes. Move 4. Yeah, he thinks for like 2 minutes on move 4. One minute 43 seconds he thought on it. Okay. Let's go to Carlsen versus Anish till the time Vishy's game starts. And Praveen S says, oh, you remember Calvin, 6-year-old, asleep, Thakur friend visiting weekend. Nice. Very nice. He talks about it in his book as well. Yeah. I remember Vishy talking about this in his book. Here, I think Mind Master. He talks about this 1 minute 43 seconds that he thinks. And it is... By the way, a small note. I marked so many things I want to read. Vishy writes in his book, my attitude towards winning and losing has evolved. Earlier, success was the cog on which everything turned. In winning, now the primary emotion is one of gratitude. And I have also learned not to fret over bad results. Worrying, I have come to realize, is just a dark, blind alley, and I need to step out of it naturally. See, this can be useful for you guys as well. All of you giving exams or worrying about your results. Think of it as a dark alley where you don't need to go. Again, even though the desire for the big wins and titles linger, I'm no longer fixated on them. It doesn't mean I'm not pursuing success. Just that trappings and fetters don't matter anymore. It's almost like a journey from obsession to freedom. Wow. क्या ही लिखा है? Very nicely written, right? Story nights with Sagar. Okay, by the way, let me see if here... Oh, by the way, the Armageddon between Radjabov and this might have started, right? Oh, Anish plays bishop f6. Excellent. So now Anish has some good fighting chances in this position. Look at this idea. No, this is so cool. Chess is so beautiful. Imagine that I take this knight out, okay, and I take this knight out. I'm just going to do something very weird. Say knight at 7, king at 7. Okay, I give this check, king here. And now let keep the knight on c6. Find a good move for white. This is a very typical idea. When the bishop is here, you can find a very good move for white, which will give you a nice chances. Yeah, very nice. So the move is bishop d3. Excellent. Because now I'm threatening a mate here, which is the only, you can't even move the rook because check, king f8 and mate, because the king cannot go out to e7. These two rooks are very weirdly placed. So you have to play g6, after which I win the bishop because the bishop is there on f6. This happens sometimes. You should know these patterns. And very good answers given by Chandan Nagar, Prashant Rajesh, Sendil Nathan, Siddharth Bhatt, Vijay Ramados, NP Sharma, Arush Kaushik, Jai, and Mayuresh Redkar. Well done. Uh, oh, Radjabov and this has not started perhaps, but we will see if their game has already begun. Oh, Queen f5 played in the game. Here, bishop f6, queen f5, bishop takes g5, and of course, Magnus is going to take with the pawn. Then Anish has to find knight e5, bishop b3, rook d8. This is a very concrete game. Bishop b3, rook d8, putting the rook in the center. And it seems like, at least visually, that black is doing well. The only problem is that this pawn is slightly weak and this square is no longer in control. f4 would be on cards. King can't run away, it's slightly weak. So white is still better here. Let me also get myself ready for... yeah, this is the board here. Oh, Radjabov's game has started with MVL. Okay. Let's look at it. In the meantime, till Vishy's game begins, let's look at Radjabov versus MVL. Radjabov with 10 minutes has to win. MVL. Draw is okay for him. Bishop f3. I like this move because with bishop f3, he's looking at the c6 square, which is a weakness. So white definitely seems to have a small edge out of the opening. Guys, Vishy का game draw हो गया. If someone can just put it, Vishy's game was drawn. Now waiting for Armageddon. I will pin it so that people who come will know what has happened. Oh, Queen d7 played by MVL. So MVL wants to take maybe, or maybe he wants to go knight c6 perhaps. That's knight c6, knight c6. Yeah, bishop c6. Maybe that's his idea. Chinmay. Thank you, Chinmay. I will pin your message. Thank you so many guys for writing. Thank you. Let's look at till Vishy's Armageddon begins. We are going to look. I will keep Vishy's board here so that we can watch. Let me see if I can do it in a smooth way. Wesley So versus Vishy Anand. I'm just trying to change the. Yep. There you go. Awesome. So Anand black, Wesley has white. The game will start in some time over there. So we will know when it starts. Meanwhile, we are following the game of Radjabov versus MVL. Queen C2 played by Temur and Rook A7 played in this position. Bishop takes B7. Queen takes B7. Okay. I, I would love to enter with my queen, but C6 square controlled by the knight. C7 is off bounds because of Rook A7. So it's not so simple. No, 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 no. Queen C4. My mouse slip. Mouse slip. I think knight F3 might be played here. What do you think? Put the knight on F3. पिन नहीं किया मैसेज रियली इतने सारे मैसेज थे yeah knight to F3 I think he'll get his knight to F3 and mainly you know guys the main advantage that white has is the weakness of this C6 square and he's played it. What did he play? He played rook fd1. MVL instantly put his rook on d8. Queen to e4. Okay. So after queen takes e4, a few moves have happened. He took queen takes, knight takes, king f1. Okay, not so easy for Radjabov to win this. Also, MVL has like close to 4 minutes on the clock. This looks like MVL should be able to hold. And I think once black gets a good position in the first few minutes, right, of the game, it becomes quite possible to hold. Also, that 1 second increment after move 40 is very big. Yeah, bishop f6. You play king e2. That looks like a move in the position. The other possibility looks knight d2 to get rid of the knight on e4. Praveen S says, Thakur says 1.43 amazing. Yeah, that game where Vishy thinks for 1 minute 43 seconds for one move is amazing. All those who haven't seen it, check it out. And also queen takes g4 against Kasparov, best move. Actually, the interesting thing is that video's expression, we have it on ChessBase India. It was shot by Frederick, and we've put that like Kasparov is winning, and he makes a move which is just bad, and then Vishy takes queen takes g4, and Kasparov does this, and then in that game when Vishy wins the game, he pumps his fists in the air, and he's like, "Yeah, I won." I have never seen Anand so happy after a win, like in that. Sayantan Ghosh is the longest 1 minute 43 seconds of my life. Yeah. Oh, he goes rook e1. That is a very curious move by Radjabov. What could be his idea here? To put his rook on e1, and he's just coming out of this e5 ideas from the d file, and he wants to double on the c file. Very interesting. Very interesting. Like such a move can only be played either by a complete beginner or by a really strong player. And Radjabov clearly understands that if he went rook c2 here, which he would like to play, then e5 would lose the rook. So he goes first rook e1, then plays rook c2. Now if his opponent plays e5, he is okay. He can play knight f5 and then double on the c file. Kaivalya Ghotkar, that video is, if you're looking for 1 minute 43 seconds, then just Vishy thinks for 1 minute 43 seconds, something like that. And if you're looking for queen takes g4, then maybe something like Kasparov's epic reaction or something like that. The guest whom I'm so excited about today, I mentioned to him that you can join anytime between 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. because I thought like game will go on till time, and he was like, okay, sure. Maybe now, uh, who knows? We'll stream till 1 a.m. Let's see. Um, what Anand Wesley has begun. Oh, game has begun. Game has begun. Let me see if I can get this board. Yeah, I'm doing this board because maybe the fact that I have logged in could help to give a more accurate evaluation. Let's see. Let's look at it. What will happen? No one knows. Okay, guys, let's flip and let's go from the beginning. Vishy Anand with black. Wesley opens with c4, c5, knight c3, knight c6. They repeat, huh? They repeat. d3 this time. Wesley does not go for knight f3 and d4, which he played in the classical game. So when d3, Vishy goes e6, e4, knight e7, knight e2, castles. By the way, this is known as a Botwinic setup that Wesley has in the position. b6, a3, d6, rook b1, knight d4, b4, knight c6. Now we are up to speed. This is the live position. Okay, now Anand has put his knight in the center. It's a very flexible setup that he has chosen. He can put his bishop on b7, be nicely positioned there. Bishop e3. Oh, bishop d7 has been played. People are saying time difference is too much. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, this Armageddon, Anand has 7 minutes, but if he draws, he wins this game. If Wesley wins, he wins. So queen to d2. Okay. And what does black do now? Take on e2, take on e2, knight to d4. I think Wesley might just take and play bishop h6, but Wesley has to win, and Anand's position looks solid. And look at Anand playing fast. You know, Anand is like, let's move it, let's move it. I like to move it, move it. So he's got like really nice position, and Wesley plays f4. The point is Wesley's bishop doesn't look so good, but he has got this kingside play. f6. Now if you play f5, he'll go g5. Keep it closed. Anand's position looks good. Also on the time, he's doing okay. 5 minutes, as I said, if you reach a position where you have decent chances with 5 minutes left on the clock, should be okay. Guys, what are your thoughts? Will Vishy win this? I mean, he just needs a draw. He has a good position. Wesley goes h4. Wesley like, "Arey jeetna hai bhaiyo. We have to win." And Vishy quickly plays b5. Vishy is just hitting in the queen side. Pushes his pawn to b5. If you take, he wants to take with the bishop. And there's no a4 because that's an unprotected square. The rook is on b1. So looks pretty good. Also, next move could try for a5 here. That could be an idea. a5 in the position. Maybe Wesley might try for h5 or f5. Let's see. He's burning his time. His time lead of 3 minutes is down to 2 minutes. Also, the position does not look like anything great that he can fight for an advantage as such for now. Yeah, no pawns traded until now. Good observation, Parmeswaran. Let's see, what does Vishy do now? Wesley is thinking a lot for this move. He's now almost just 1.5 minute lead. What did he play? Rook c1. Vishy instantly took. Okay. If you take with the pawn, I get a passer. And if you take with the rook, then I get bishop b5 here or rook c8. Oh, what happened? He took with the rook. He attacked it. Rook went back. Bishop a4. Attacked it. Rook c1. Okay. I think rook c8 looks good. Oh, Anand plays rook c8. Fantastic. Fantastic. Vishy doing well. h5. Wesley So. Now, will Vishy be brave enough and take this pawn? Doesn't look great. You know, like when you need a draw, you don't make such moves, so risky moves. Oh, he takes it. He takes it. He's like, Sagar, if it's the best move, I'm playing it. It doesn't matter if I need a draw or not. He takes the pawn. Very nice. And guys, we have the guest. What a perfect time for our guest to join in. Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hi, Hari. How are you?
I'm good. I cannot see you.
1 second. Let me just... Hari, can you see me?
Yes, I can see you. Can
Hari,
you hear?
welcome. Yes, and what a time you have come here. Can we just... this is Anand's Armageddon going on right now with Wesley.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, guys, we have Hari Krishna in the house at the perfect moment possible. Hari, you think... What do you feel about the position?
This looks excellent position for black. Simply, white has no counter chances. You know, he can't really attack black's king, and of course, the d3 pawn is under attack. Also a3 pawn is falling now, so I'm not sure how Wesley is going to stop all these things. Perhaps rook d1, because queen h5, I think.
Queen h5, just bishop d3. Can we take
Bishop
it or?
D. I think bishop d3 should be enough. Yes.
He takes it, by the way. I think he's taken. Oh, and Anand takes on d3 and fe5.
Wow.
Oh,
D.
okay.
But something is wrong.
I am not sure what's happened. And by the way, this engine not to be trusted. Oh, queen f3.
So f takes e5, bishop e2 is the move or what?
Yeah. Bishop e2 was perhaps the winning move
takes
here.
e2 and d takes e5.
And if queen takes e2, then d takes e5. But I think Vishy was a little bit afraid of this move, perhaps. He takes f6.
Yeah. It looks like that. Yeah, king h8, queen e2. And
this should be like
rook g3, king f2, and rook queen h3 or something like that.
But when he played here, now de, queen f3, queen e6, he's now a piece down.
Yeah.
But do you think still some chances to hold here, or?
Well, it's difficult to hold this. I mean, white's king is pretty safe. This is the main issue here. I mean, if let's say the pawn is not on g3, and then I can create some chances. So in order to draw, you need many things, like to get this b4 pawn, e4 pawn, and so on. So and queen can't really move from e6. So
and also f6 is weak, so that is another problem.
Yeah, bishop c4 might be played. Maybe he's thinking. I'm not so sure.
Because if queen c4, then queen f6 is made.
Queen f6, yes. So bishop c4, rook f3, bishop e6, and this is an easy way to convert. Yeah.
So I think Wesley is just making sure.
Taking his time, yes, of course.
Oh, he plays it. Very nice move. And I think this is now over, because with an extra, or maybe he'll keep the rook, right, on the board.
Yeah, he has to keep the rook. I mean, if he takes rook, it's just over, because bishop c4 and bishop takes a6.
Correct.
Yeah, certainly he would keep the rook. I expect bishop d5 or something, bishop f5 also. Yeah, the point is the both f6, h7 pawns are controlled by this bishop, and also rook a6, rook a7. It's kind of player like Wesley. I wouldn't think he would mess this.
Also, any rook and exchanges like rook d7 should win for white.
Yeah, I think so. Yes. Are we sure?
I'm not sure. You are the man for this. I think you would understand this. Would it be a fortress or?
Now, since I mean, that's probably the reason why he brings his king. He's probably not sure as well if this is
maybe you can improve it and then anyway play it later. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, of course, black is going to just wait on b7 and a7,
right,
to see what's the plan. And is there any increment after move 60 or?
Yeah, move 40 now. One second increment.
1 second. Okay. I think Wesley is trying to bring the king first, and maybe even g4, g5, then to take the pawn on e5. He will probably not exchange unless he sees a clear, like, absolutely a clear win. He's technically, like, he doesn't give many chances. I don't know what's this rook d8 move.
He plays rook e7. But anyway, Anand has no way to make progress. He has to just wait on the 7th.
Yes, absolutely. He just waits. I mean, some moves, I think they are just playing, here
Oh,
and
maybe
there.
Wesley wants bishop e2, bishop c4, and rook g8 mate or something. But
That's so nice.
oh,
Yeah,
Anand resigned.
yeah. Anand resigned. Yeah, because if you move the rook, bishop e6 is coming, and there is no way to stop the idea which you
Oh.
mentioned,
But
bishop
then
e2 and
h6 can we do like I say for example here,
yeah,
if he comes in
bishop e6,
h6,
h6, king h7. I mean rook g8. Sorry,
yeah,
rook g8. Yeah, and rook. Okay,
g6,
rook
yeah.
g6. You have to calculate d3, d2.
Ah,
But it should be stoppable. Rook g6, the d3, rook takes f6, and I give a check and rook d6. This is the problem.
bishop f5 and like
Yes.
d2 check,
Yeah.
and bring the rook here. And
Yeah, exactly.
he was very close. I mean, if Vishy would have spotted this fe5 idea there, I think he could
Yeah.
have, because at some point it seemed like he was in control at this point.
Yeah, it's like sometimes automatic, like it happens. You capture and you recapture, thinking that it's the same, but okay, it's Wesley is a very tricky player,
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
always
So take
dangerous.
the right move here was this,
Yeah.
and I
Takes
imagine
f6.
that this is very dangerous, but
Sorry, Sagar, f7 is possible or not?
f7.
Rook g3, no.
Because if you take bishop h5, then f8 queen mate.
So it's rook g3, king h2,
King
rook h3, or queen h3 or something like this, or
yeah, rook h3. If queen h3, then we exchange, and
yeah, bishop f1
oh, there is
and
a
king g7.
check, and then you play king g7 and win. Wow.
Yes. I don't know. I mean, it's too difficult to see all this. Yeah, king f2, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, and now we can.
And bishop takes h5, and then rook g8 and queen g7.
Wow. So that actually there were too many lines to look at, right? Also.
Actually, it's not so obvious. Like, I mean, after f7, it might appear like, okay, how do I stop this? You have to see rook g. I mean, rook g3, rook h3. Only then you can go for this.
But rook g3, bishop h5 should also work, right? Rook g3, king h2, bishop h5, because you still have this.
Yes, of course. Yeah, bishop
G.
h5 is also enough. Yes. Yeah, because queen and you have rook g8.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yes, the same thing. But basically, rook g3 check is, I think, necessary here.
Well, but the Armageddon is not given as much importance, I think, like previous years. It's only half a point.
Yes.
So I think Vishy will still keep his lead. And if Magnus wins, he will join Vishy at the top with 8.5. Hari, before I ask you a few questions, I really want your thoughts on one position, because I don't understand it so well. And maybe it will be very useful to get your thoughts on that, because this is the game between Anish and Magnus today.
Yeah.
And this was the position that happened. Okay, let's look at from this side. And here it
But
was.
we are from Anish side, no? We play from Anish side. So
okay.
Yeah.
So here, after bishop c4,
Yeah.
I thought that, okay, when you get a queen for 2 rooks, it seems like should be a good trade. But the engine says like it's horrible. Like the evaluation goes from equal to like totally winning for white.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe it's because of the h pawn here, which is on h6. So I also kept it back on h7 and played the same line. But it showed still winning advantage. So what is your like initial feeling about this? Why it should be so better?
I mean, I just see this position now, so I can estimate that the bishop on c4 is way superior to the bishop on a1. Simply, it keeps nice control over f7 pawn, and the queen is nicely centralized on d5, and some piece has to stay on f8 or knight on d8 to protect this f7 pawn. So Well, you have two rooks, and usually you consider that two rooks is superior to queen. But in this particular case, I think white's king is way safer than black's. That's one important thing. And the knight on c6 cannot move really much because the b7 pawn is, unprotected. And to make it simple, the coordination between the pieces is missing for black. And let's say if black is able to get b6, knight f5 to kick the bishop from a to g8 diagonal, then it would be excellent.
So it's mainly the pressure here and
Yes.
the non-coordination of the pieces, and also the fact that white will soon start pushing his pawns.
Yeah, and white's knight is actually free. If you see that knight need not be on f3, knight can jump g4, g5, knight g5, or it's controlling e5 square for stopping knight from c6 to e5. So, and of course, I don't know what exactly happened in the game, but I guess h4, g4, g5, something like this might have happened.
Absolutely. So here he went g4, and then rook e8, h4, rook e7, g5, takes knight g5. And I think this was a small chance that because hg5 might have been stronger, but he got here, takes. And maybe there was some defensive chances here for Anish, but
I think black, from black side, obviously black is not fighting for an advantage here. But if you want to finish the game, you can look at some kind of fortress where you sacrifice your rook and collect the bishop on c4 and the pawn on e3. So it would be a fortress.
In what way?
Some way, if white is sacrificing the pawn, and then you just give this rook for the bishop. Rook has more points, but you sacrifice this.
But why if this pawn if this
he will push the pawns at some point. He has to push.
So if you are saying there are 2 versus 2 here, and black has this, then a rook knight can hold versus the queen.
Exactly. That's my point.
Very interesting. I think, Hari, you think a lot in these fortresses terms and all, right?
It's necessary. When your position is not so good, you have to already start thinking like, how can I achieve some kind of saving way. Here it's a little bit uncomfortable. What's the move after rook e5?
Queen f4. Actually, the best move according to engines is knight e5, but he went rook e5, rook c5, and now very important move was g6, because if bishop b3, then g6.
G6,
so he went g6, knight e5, takes, and it still seems like a fight, but I mean, it would you say like this is +5 or something when you're playing, or
I wouldn't, I think it's really unpleasant for black here. Now the pawn on f7 is also gone. I guess Anish is trying to bring the rook to f6 to play g6 and move the king, because he needs to move the king to do something.
But then it will be pinned like this.
Of course. But he needs to bring the rook to defend the knight on f7. I think this is what he's trying to do here. If he doesn't move the king from g8, how is he going to move the knight from f7? Yes, so that's what he will try, of course.
But
and also he should not lose all these pawns on b7 and a7. He needs to at least keep one pawn there on b6 or something like that.
But if he let's say starts with a6, he loses this, and then he tries for putting this rook here, so maybe the bishop
d5, I guess.
Bishop d5, and then you play rook f6.
Some queen e7.
Queen e7, and you stop this idea also.
I mean e4, e5. It's really unpleasant.
So this looks very difficult overall. But Hari, have you been following this tournament, and have you been following Vishy's performance at recent events?
Of course, excellent result, and I was following the games from Warsaw and also Norway Chess. I think he I mean, in online events too, he played really well. But what we saw in Warsaw and in Norway Chess so far is just outstanding and excellent games, very clean games, and didn't give much chances to his very strong opponents. So I'm very happy to see the games and learn from them.
Amazing, amazing. And how have you been doing, Hari? How have been things at your end? Because you played in
Yeah,
Bundesliga recently. I
yeah.
think that was the last that you played, right?
Yes, yes, I did play in April 30, or April last 30 and first. So I will be playing in Prague Masters, which is starting in a couple of days. So I'm preparing for that event, and of course after Prague Masters, Olympiad is coming up. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, Prague, you and Vidit both will be playing in
Yes,
the Prague
exactly.
Masters.
Yeah, and Sashi will be playing in the Challengers.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So
So
that will be great fun to see three of our top players over there. And Hari, what are your feelings for the Olympiad? Also, I have a picture that I
did you get from 2000 or no? Okay,
no,
okay.
no, no. I
No, okay, cool.
uh, this one. This is the
Nice.
team. I don't know which year this is, but maybe
This must be I hope 2017 or
okay.
19,
Not
maybe
so.
19. I am not so sure. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This is good picture. I like ChessBase India.
Okay, thank you. And Hari, how is you feeling for the Olympiad? And this is the team with it you, Arjun, Narayanan, and Shashikiran.
Well, I played with Vidit and Sashi for I don't know. I mean, with Sashi already like 20 years since 2000 Istanbul Olympiad, and Vidit since 2016 Olympiad. Like we already played like two over the board and two online Olympiads, and many other European Club Cup and many team competitions. So and Arjun and SL, I'm playing. I mean, playing for the first time along with them. But I already interacted with them, so we have good team feeling in our team. And of course, Sashi is he always has interesting ideas, and juniors will be always coming up with a lot of new ideas. So it's a good mixture, I must say. And as this is already, I don't know, I think 10th Olympiad or something like that for me.
Wow.
uh, so I'm very excited that it's being held in India and in Chennai. I would have wished to be in Hyderabad, but I like Chennai too, because I was spending lot of time in Chennai,
Mm.
many friends there, and obviously after such a boom in India, to have Olympiad would be a great opportunity uh, for me, Indian team, and all the youngsters. So I'm really looking forward to to be playing in India.
Amazing. And Hari, you said like the team has a very good mix of experience and youth.
Yeah.
Recently, Narayanan also played with Navara in Prague,
Yes, yes, yes,
and
yes,
the score was equal, which was
yes, yes.
actually quite a big result, right? Because Navara is such a world class GM.
Yeah. No, it's also one must remember that David played a lot of matches prior to this. Like he played against Vladimir Kramnik, So Wesley, Judith Polgar, Hikaru, and actually against me too
Right.
in 2018, Ding, and so on. So he has big experience and the opportunity for SL. I think Narayanan is his name, right?
Yes, yes.
Because there's
Narayanan is his name. Sunil Dutt is his father's name, and Laina is his mother's name. So SL is
right.
that.
It's
So
like it's like Gopal. Yeah. Okay.
exactly.
So I knew it, but because Gopal also they were making some mistakes while
Right.
writing. So anyway, so it would be it's a great opportunity for him to play against a strong player like David, and it would be nice to win the match before Olympiad, and it gives a great pressure, a great boost for him. And I have been following the games of Sharjah Open and other places where the team members are playing, not just A but also B team. I'm in touch with them as well, so it's great.
B team is like, I was just calculating, average age 19.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes. 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 Yes.
insane.
I think Adiban spoiled a little bit, but
I think Adiban increased it by 2 years. Otherwise, it would have been
okay.
17. But
Uh-huh.
what an
I mean,
interesting team,
imagine
right?
if the Olympiad was held in 2020, probably we would have something similar. So we'll have like 15 or some 14 team. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And this team actually is quite underrated, right? I mean, all these
Yeah,
youngsters.
I think heavily underrated. And another thing, of course, nobody is going to underestimate or estimate by their ratings, because
Mm.
probably by now they must have increased like 20 points each of them. And Prague played excellent in the online event I was following, and
Yes.
the finals against Ding was really amazing to watch. And him writing the exams and playing it's and that's really
Yeah.
nice to watch. So I mean I expect really good result from both the teams.
Amazing, amazing. There is a super chat by Manoj Bala who says, "Hi GM Hari, always enjoyed your games along with GM Sashikiran. How about hashtag Vishy for Olympiad as Vidit mentioned last night?"
Yeah, actually, I was also thinking after he. Thank you. So I was also thinking maybe we should we should start something like Anand should be playing in at the Olympiad, but on the other hand, it's Anand's decision, and we must respect that. But yeah, that's a nice idea. We should definitely do that.
And the women's team also very very strong. Yeah, like the A
Yeah,
team,
yeah.
maybe one of the best in the Olympiad.
Yeah, it's really strong. You have experience, and Vaishali and Bhakti, So I mean, I think Bhakti has already played a
Yes.
couple of team competitions, and all of them know each other. Played the online Olympiad, and also Nations Cup and some other team competitions. I think I'm expecting really good result from women's team as well. And I don't want to put any pressure
Right.
on any team, but we will. I have seen them playing at various chess Olympiads, and how passionately they play each
Mm.
game, and they were close at several
Yes.
events. And that's how the Olympiad format is. You can play uh, eight good matches, but you must play all 11 good matches, and that's how you deserve the podium.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is the B team,
Yes.
also a very nice mixture of experience in the middle three, and on the
Yeah.
far left and right we have two young guns.
Yes, yes. This also, I think they are also underrated, if you ask me.
Hmm.
Largely because many of them couldn't play that much, but I'm sure they have been practicing, and the camps would definitely help to play well in at the Olympiad, where each team will have pretty strong teams, strong players at every boat.
Amazing. Talking about the camps, you were also part of the recent camp, but
Yeah.
you were online
Yes. Yes.
through
Yeah.
Zoom or Skype. How was your experience with girlfriend and the entire team?
It was, I mean, I cannot say what we were seeing or preparing,
Yes,
but
for
I
sure.
can say that that it was really interesting to get the insights of certain positions, and get to know the concepts. To it can be just a tiny idea, or just a fine point which can change a lot in my own game, and in other players game, and the way we think about each game, and etc. So for me, it was a really interesting experience. This was the first time I got to get insights from a legend like Boris Gelfand. And we'll be having one more camp, and I will be joining there. So
You will be
yeah,
coming to
yeah,
India.
I'm coming. Yeah.
Fantastic. And Hari, we have some pictures that I really liked from your Instagram. Maya, who's your daughter, who's now
Yeah.
turned, I think, 1 year and 2 months old, uh,
Yes. Yes.
around. And how has life been since then?
Yeah,
Different?
the picture says most of it. It's a new phase of my life. Of course, it's exciting. It's tiring but fun, and all kinds of emotions together. And I have to say, like, uh, Nadja, and also, yeah, there you go. So we are here. This is a Indian restaurant nearby.
Oh,
So we are having,
is
yeah,
that
it's a,
mango lassi?
yeah, exactly. She really likes mango lassi, and Nadja too. So it's great. And I
Nice.
think I'm not sure, but probably it's gulab jam or something like this.
Hmm.
So it's a great Indian restaurant. We went for festival, and I'm having a wonderful time with my family, and having a really nice time. It's due to COVID, it's not. I mean, not this year, of course, but in 2021, got a lot of time to spend with family, and have wonderful time. Yeah, slowly she's learning new things, and it's it's challenging.
So would you say, like, recently, Hari, the your performances or your rating has been a little bit going
Yeah.
downwards? Like, if I was just checking, it
Yes.
was maybe right now your rating is perhaps something that was back in 2013. So,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
uh, what would you say is your feeling right now? Do you feel like this is just a phase, and how do you take this situation?
It happened to me many times. You can see the graph even a few years back.
Right.
I mean, I was mostly stable above 27-20 for a really long time. So last maybe couple of months, I could not perform well, and I'm working on that. Obviously, I hope to regain my form, and to to play good chess, because for me, the rating points I can win if I am able to play good chess. And sometimes it takes time, but I keep working and keep my motivation. This is what I am trying to do. It's it's I wouldn't say it's not a disappointment when you lose rating and you play bad games. For me, it's disappointing when I play a bad chess than losing games, in the sense like I make a silly mistake and lose, rather than if my opponent plays well, then it's fine. I'm okay with that. I don't like it, but I'm okay with that. So let's say that way.
Right.
But I'm working on it, and I will get back.
Amazing. This was very nice to get your thoughts, Hari, because we are very much looking forward to the Prague Masters, where you will be back in action. Recently, you played at the Champions Chess Tour also. I was following
Yeah.
it, and you were very close to
Yes,
qualifying.
yes,
That
yes.
last game, where I think I could see your reactions also. You were very upset
Yeah,
because you
I
were so
had.
close.
Yeah, it was. It's sport of obviously. I see the draw, but in order to qualify, I should not take a draw. So of course you can say, after such a situation, why didn't you take a draw? But also from a player perspective, it's loss or draw is same for me, and therefore I lost. It's disappointing, but I hope to do well if I get a chance in the next online events.
Fantastic. And we are very much looking forward to Prague and also the Olympiad. Hari, thank you so much for joining us. It was a great pleasure talking to
Thank
you.
you. Pleasure is mine, and a big hello to all the audience who are. I am not seeing the chat, so if
There
somebody
are there
wished
are
me,
some very nice things. By the way, Tanya Sachdev here, she
yeah.
says Maya is a cutie gone on mama.
Thank you, thank you. So to everyone, thanks a lot. If I didn't see the chats, but thanks for the wishes, and yeah.
People are saying Hari, all the best, Hari, waiting for your comeback. Lot of hearts in the chat for you. And so, Hari, we are all looking forward to the next event that you're playing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure, and yeah, continue the show. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Guys, that was Hari Krishna joining us all the way from Czech Republic, Prague, and he is such a positive person, such a calm person. And I think very soon we're going to see him unleash himself, maybe at the Prague Masters, maybe at the Olympiad. But it was very nice having him here. And today we also followed the match of Vishy Anand, and Hari was just on time to join in the commentary. uh yeah, it was not what I mean, it was so close, guys. It was like Anand was there. He was there. He could have won the game. Just to show you, for all the people who are just tuned in right now, I think many of you, of course, saw it live, but Vishy was very close to winning, and I think it's one of those mistakes which Anand would be very unhappy with himself. The reason is that at this point, he made his next move, if I'm not mistaken, very quickly. He just played his move, f takes e5 here, sorry, d takes e5 in like couple of seconds, and he had around 3 minutes left. And if Anand had just taken a bit of more time, he might have spotted this, and he was winning. As Hari showed us this very nice variation, after take you go back to h8, then take on g3, and pick up the, if you go f7, take on g3, pick up the queen so that the rook can come and block on g8. It was not easy, but it was winning. Like if you go here, then After this, rook takes g3, king f2, and queen h3 is killing, and white is lost. So Anand was very close, but the moment he played d takes e5, Wesley So was so alert. Queen f3, attacking the bishop here and also the pawn. And Vishy, oh, what am I doing? I'm not even showing you this. This is like, this is like that blunder which uh, GMs would be very unhappy with when they make similar blunder. I don't know what was I doing. But okay, let me just show you again. Um, so the thing was that in this position, the move that we all hoped for and which Vishy, that here he took d takes e5 within couple of seconds, like he played it very quickly. If he would have taken bishop e2 and after e takes f6, king h8, yes, it's tough to calculate rook g3, but not for Anand, because after king h2, bishop h5, queen here in this position, the rook comes back over there. So that was the point which was missed by Vishy, or maybe he didn't calculate it, or maybe he just didn't see anything wrong with d takes e5 here, and queen f3 was missed when the queen attacks the bishop and the pawn. And this is how this game ended. And because of this, Vishy now lost this one, but he drew in the classical, so he got 1 point. And these are the standings at the moment. Anand is right now leading the tournament with 8.5, Wesley So on 7.5, Carlsen on 5.5, MVL on 5.5. Very likely that Magnus beats Anish and reaches 8.5 to join Vishy at the top. Very quickly, let's have a look at the game of Anish, because I think he's losing. After g5, we discussed this with Hari Krishna. He has to save his queenside pawns. If he loses all of them, he is in trouble. But he loses them. And now e4 in the position. Also, this pawn will run down the board. It looks very difficult here. Tanya in the chat, in my sending me a message saying board nahi hai. Yeah, but guys, Carlsen will reach 8.5. Anand will be on 8.5. Tomorrow they will both take rest, and on day after tomorrow we will see the battle between two five-time world champions. Vishy Anand with the white pieces will play against Magnus Carlsen. Maza aa jayega. So maybe on that day I might start streaming at 8:30. Like we go right from the beginning. And we'll try to see if we can get some more people to join us in the commentary on that day, because it's a big day. We'll enjoy. And for now, guys, I'll call it a night. Thank you all for following. It was very cool, very interesting. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. Ankit Sharma says, I think Anand messed up with the draw in classical game today. Yeah, today I think few things went wrong for Vishy. First of all, taking a draw in classical was a little bit premature, perhaps. And then in this game, in the Armageddon, where he could have actually won in a couple of moves, he blundered and lost. Will be thrilling. Magnus will be looking for revenge. Yeah, the Blitz revenge. Sumit, thank you so much. When is Prag's game? No, Prag is not playing in this tournament. And yes, Hari Krishna joining it was even more, made it even more special. And of course, Hari Krishna is someone who really He's very focused. He's preparing for his tournaments. He's now Prague Masters is coming up. Vidit is traveling tomorrow from India there. So it's going to be very exciting with Vidit and Hari in Prague, Anand in Norway, and a lot of chess coming up. So until then, guys, see you all. Raymond Villaris says, watching from Philippines. Hello and congratulations. Wesley beating Anand in the Armageddon is a great result for people from Philippines. Until then, guys, see you. Bye.